I'm Christina from iBar in Walnut Creek. I'm the lash artist here, and today I'm going to show you the procedure for a fill, a lash extension fill. So I'm here with Anna, and she's been getting eyelash extensions now for about 2 months, and she's maintaining that by coming in about every 2 to 3 weeks for a touch-up. So it's been about 2 weeks since I've seen her, so I'm just going to take you through the steps of a touch-up. So the first thing that I do is prep. So I'm prepping her with some collagen eye pads. So the purpose of these is to hold down her bottom lashes so they don't interfere with bonding the top lashes. So I'm gonna have you go ahead and look up. So what's nice about these is that they're made with collagen, so she's also getting a little mini eye treatment as they're holding down the bottom lashes. Go ahead and look up. And so I really like to be sure that no bottom lashes are going to peek up throughout the treatment, because if they do, then we run the risk of adhering an eyelash extension to her bottom lash, and we don't want that. So sometimes I just take a little bit of medical tape. Go ahead and open, Anna. And I just make sure that I get really close to the lash line there so that nothing ends up peeking through and that they stay secure. Okay, and you can go ahead and close. Okay, so I also like to put a little bit of medical tape on her lid. What this does is just lifts the lashes off of the pad so that we're not sticking those to the pad at all, and it also fans out the lashes for easier isolation. Okay, so she's all prepped, and the next thing I'm going to do is just go through Anna's lashes and take off any that are overgrown or loose. When we do a fill, it's not just about plugging in lashes, we're also removing the ones that are ready to come off. So for example, this one here is a little bit loose at the base, so it's ready to come off. So I'm just gonna grab the base of her natural lash to hold it secure, and then just pull the extension toward me to remove it. So if a lash has already loosened itself in this way, it's okay to just pull it off in that manner. If a lash needs to be removed but it's still fully bonded, I'm going to want to use glue remover to remove that lash, because we run the risk of damaging the lash. So for example, here's another one that's very overgrown and it's just kind of hanging. So I just need to, oh sure. So I just need to grab the base of that natural lash and just remove the overgrown extension. So I'm just weaving through everything, making sure everything is nice and separated. Sometimes between lash fills, you can also get lashes that stick to their neighboring lashes. So we want to make sure to, separate any of those that we see. But now this one is starting to look like we can start plugging in some new lashes. You might also notice that Anna is a little bit more sparse on her left side than her right, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes somebody will sleep on one side and lose a little bit more. In her case, we did try to go a little bit longer during her last fill, and we did it consciously knowing that her lashes might experience a little bit more lash loss. So that's what happened, and Anna and I spoke earlier, and we're probably going to stick to a shorter length that we were doing previously. So once again, just weaving through and making sure everything is separated. Here's another lash that is really overgrown, so this lash is in its mature stage. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one off so that we can replace it with a brand new lash. Here. So I just have a little microfiber swab here that I'm dipping in the primer. And I'm just going to go ahead and massage that onto her lashes. And see, we still are cleaning off a couple of the old ones that need to come off. And this is just taking off any excess debris, excess oils. We want to make sure that we are putting the eyelash extension on a clean lash, otherwise the bond won't be as strong. Like it might have a little excess makeup residue, so I'm just really making sure to clean that off. Okay, so moving on to the next eye, I'm going to grab a clean microfiber swab. Dip that in the primer. And then once again, just massaging that onto the lashes to clean up any debris. And then we'll also get these lashes that are ready to come off. And these microfiber swabs are great for really isolating where I need to clean. I wouldn't really be able to use a Q-tip because it wouldn't be as intricate, and it would also probably leave some lint residue on her lash extensions. so we're done with the cleaning. Now I'm just going to comb out her lashes a little bit. Make sure everything is nice and separated. And then now I'm going to take a fan and just make sure that the lashes are nice and dry. Eyelash extensions won't stick properly to wet lashes, so we need to make sure that they're nice and dry. Okay, so the lashes that we use here at iBar are synthetic mink lashes. So I have those right here on my tile, and I'm going to start plugging those in. Let me just raise the bed a little bit. I'm also using a medical grade glue made for eyelash extensions that is completely safe for around the eyes. And now I'm just going to start plugging in lashes, making it look like a full set again. I'm going to take one individual lash, dip that in the glue, and just isolate her lashes. And adhere it. So the style that Anna usually goes for is a staggered look. She likes it to be a mix of long with shorter, thick ones in between to create some dimension. Since she did have a lot more lash loss on the left eye, I'm going to concentrate on the left eye at first just to balance everything out. Okay, so I started plugging in lashes mostly to her left eye so that we could balance them out a little bit since she had more lash loss on the left. So now they're looking a little bit more even, so I'm going to start working on the right eye and going back and forth. So once again, just dipping the lash in a little bit of glue, isolating where I want to place it. Coating the lash with a little bit of glue, wiping off the excess, and then placing it. So if I work in one area, for example right here, I don't want to immediately plug in another lash right next to it because we run the risk of the lashes sticking together. So since I placed one here, I would be safe going somewhere in the outer inner corner. Once again, just isolating and placing that lash. So the longest lashes that I'm using on Anna is a 13 millimeter. I'm doing most of the 13s toward the middle, which is more of a baby doll look where they're longer in the middle, tapering down on the outer and inner corners. But once I've really built that good base, I'm just gonna go in and plug in with some shorter, thick ones because Anna does like a staggered look. Now weaving back over to the left side. At this point, since there's more lashes on her eyes, I'm just gonna start going back and forth. And then also, just to note, I am placing the lash about 1 millimeter away from her lash line, so it's not touching the skin. We don't want the eyelash extension touching her skin at all. I'm just kind of combing through everything, making sure nothing is sticking together, and also just checking out the shape that the lashes are taking. So I can look and see where there's gaps and where I need to fill in. Okay, so at this point, Anna's lashes are really starting to take shape. I've pretty much filled in all of the longer lashes that I can, all the long and medium lengths. So at this point, I'm probably gonna just start plugging in with shorter lashes. I'm gonna try to do shorter, thick ones where I can, if her natural lash can handle it. That will add some dimension and make her lash line a little bit darker. And then in the cases where the lash isn't strong enough to hold a thick lash, I can go ahead and add a thin lash, a thin, shorter lash, and it'll still create a similar effect. So I'm just plugging in with some C-Curl 0.18s, and the length is 10 millimeters. Another thing about the eyelash extensions at iBar is they're completely customizable. Some people like a dramatic look, they like thicker, curlier, longer lashes, but there are a lot of clients that like a more natural look. So we can work with either one. We have an array of different lengths, curls, and thicknesses. I have a ton of clients that are working women and they can't do a very dramatic style in the offices where they work, so they need to stick to something a little bit more conservative. So usually they prefer a look as if they're just wearing mascara and have curled their eyelashes, so we can definitely do something a little bit more natural. So I'm just finishing up here with Anna's fill. We've got her nice and full. We've got the long ones that she likes, so 13 millimeters throughout the middles. And then we've mixed in some shorter, thicker ones for the staggered look that she likes. So I'm just brushing them out, and then I'm just gonna dry her for a little bit. And so a big aftercare instruction with eyelash extensions is that you can't get them wet for the first 24 hours. Since Anna's done this before, she already kind of knows the drill. But yeah, it's important to keep them nice and dry the first 24 hours so that they can cure all the way to the core of the lash. And so after she's done drying here, she'll be good to go. Another big aftercare instruction is to not use any products with oil. A lot of women use face washes, lotions, eye creams that all contain oil, or even something as simple as rinsing out conditioner and letting it run down your eyes. It's a big no-no with eyelash extensions. Any oils are going to break down the adhesive and interrupt the bond with the glue. So you can definitely lose lashes that way. So I tell all my clients, check your products, make sure that they're totally oil-free. Lift up here and make sure nothing is sticking to the iPad. I'm going to turn off this big bright light so it's not shining right in her eyes when she opens them. And then Anna, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.